I barely use my oven. It's one of those modern ones with a digital display timers, preset stuff I ignore. Last night around 2 a.m., I was in the living room when I heard it beep. 3 short tones. I went into the kitchen. The display read, "Preheat complete." That didn't make sense. I hadn't turned it on. I opened the app connected to it, no activity. I pressed the cancel button. The display cleared. I stood there for a second, then went back to the couch. A minute later, 3 beeps. Louder this time. I walked back in. The display now said, "Remove contents." My chest tightened. I hadn't put anything in there. I stared at the oven door. It was off. No heat coming from it. Just that message. "Remove contents." I laughed a little, trying to shake it off. "There's nothing in there," I said. The display flickered. Then updated. "Check again." I didn't move. Didn't touch it. A few seconds passed. Then the oven light turned on by itself, illuminating the inside. I could see through the glass. Empty racks. Nothing inside. "See?" I said. "Nothing." The display paused. Then, "Lower rack." I frowned, stepped closer, got down a little to change my angle. The lower rack was partially hidden by the door frame. I crouched, looked inside, and for a split second, I thought I saw something. A shape, pressed flat against the bottom. Same color as the metal. Too still to notice at first. I stood up immediately. "Nope," I said. "Nope." The oven beeped again. Faster. Insistent. "Remove contents." I backed away. "I'm not opening that." The display changed again. "It's ready." The oven door handle twitched. Just slightly. Like pressure from the inside. I froze. The door creaked open a fraction of an inch. No heat. Just darkness inside. The light flickered, and whatever was on the bottom rack shifted, just enough to see it clearly. A face, flattened against the metal. Eyes open. Watching. My face. Exact. Same expression. Same everything. But the eyes. They moved first. Tracking me. The oven beeped again. "Come. Final. Remove occupant." I ran. I didn't shut it. Didn't turn it off. Just left. I'm sitting in my car now. I can still see my house from here. Kitchen light is on. And every few minutes, I see the oven door open a little more. Then close. Like something inside is testing it. Trying to get out. Or trying to figure out how I got in. At 1:58 a.m., my phone went off with that loud, blaring emergency alert tone. You know, the one impossible to ignore. The screen lit up. Emergency alert test. I almost threw my phone across the room. Who runs a test at 2 a.m.? Then the text updated. Not replaced, updated. Like someone was typing in it live. Emergency alert test. Right, emergency alert. I frowned. Then another line appeared underneath. Please confirm receipt. 2 buttons showed up. Yes/no. I hesitated. That's not how those alerts work. I hit no. The screen froze for a second. Then, response unclear. The buttons changed. Confirm/deny. I didn't like that. I pressed the side button to turn the screen off. It didn't. The alert stayed up. Bright. Locked in place. Then another line appeared. Are you in a safe location? My chest tightened. I hit yes this time. The screen flickered. Then, define safe. I just stared at it. I didn't answer. The phone vibrated in my hand. Harder than before. The alert expanded. More text filling the screen. We are attempting to locate you. I said you already have my location like an idiot. The phone responded immediately. We do not. The tone changed. Lower, almost impatient. Assist us. A map appeared. Not like a normal GPS. No streets. No labels. Just a dark background with a single blinking dot. Me. Then, another dot appeared. Far from mine. The alert updated. Second point detected. The new dot started moving. Slowly, directly toward mine. I tried to close the app. Couldn't. Tried to power off my phone. It wouldn't shut down. The dots kept moving. Closer. Closer. The alert added another line. Maintain position. I'm not doing that, I said. I stood up. Walked across my room. The dot didn't move. I looked at my feet. Then back at the screen. Still in the same spot. The second dot. Kept getting closer. I walked faster. Went into the hallway. The dot stayed where my bed was. The alert updated again. Why did you leave? My throat went dry. I didn't, I said. The phone vibrated. Long. Continuous. Do not separate. I looked back toward my bedroom. Then at the map. The second dot was almost on top of mine now. Right where I had been lying. The alert flashed. Contact imminent. I took a step toward the room. Stopped. Every instinct told me not to go back. The dots overlapped. The phone went silent. Completely. Then, one final message appeared. Confirmation received. The screen went black. Everything returned to normal. No alert. No map. Nothing. I stood there for a long time. Eventually, I went back into my room. Slowly, carefully, nothing looked different. But my bed, the spot where the dot had been. The sheets were pressed down, like someone had just gotten up. And my pillow was warm. I installed motion sensors around my house a few months ago. Basic security system, each room has one, and the app logs activity with timestamps. It's pretty straightforward. If something moves, it records the room and time. Last night, I got a notification at 2:11 a.m. Motion detected, living room. I checked the camera. Nothing. Empty. I figured maybe it was a bug or a shadow. Then another alert. 2:11:04 hallway. Then 2:11:06 kitchen. Then 2:11:07 living room. I sat up. That's not possible. Those rooms aren't that close together. You can't move between them that fast. I opened the app and watched the log update in real time. 2:11:09 bedroom doorway. My chest tightened. That's right outside my room. I got out of bed slowly. Didn't open the door. Just stood there staring at it. Another alert. 2:11:10 living room. Then immediately. 2:11:10 hallway. Same second. It was jumping. Not moving. Jumping. Room to room. Back and forth. Faster than anything physical could. Then the app updated again. A new line I hadn't seen before. Tracking multiple subjects. I felt my stomach drop. Multiple. The logs started doubling. 2 entries at the same timestamp. Then 3. All different rooms. At once. Then, the alert stopped. Complete silence. The app froze. No new activity. I waited. Listening. Nothing. Then my phone buzzed. One last notification. Motion detected, bedroom. I looked up. Slowly. Because I hadn't seen anything. Hadn't heard anything. The room was dark. Still. Then, my closet door creaked. Just slightly. Opening. From the inside, the app updated one final time. Subject stationary. I fell asleep on the couch with the TV on. Happens a lot. Usually when I wake up, it's on the same show or just paused. Last night was different. I woke up around 3 a.m. to the sound of my TV turning on by itself. The screen lit up with that familiar prompt. Resume watching. Under it was a title. No thumbnail. No description. Just a timestamp. 001243. I didn't recognize it. I definitely hadn't started anything like that. Still half asleep, I grabbed the remote and hit play. The screen went black for a second. Then, it showed my living room. From the corner, like a security camera angle. But I don't have cameras. I sat up immediately. The footage was grainy, low light. But it was clearly my apartment. Same couch, same table, and on the couch, me, sleeping, exactly how I had been before I woke up. I felt my chest tighten. The timestamp on the video ticked forward. 001244. 001245. I watched myself sleep. Not moving. Not reacting. Then, in the video, something shifted in the hallway behind the couch. A shadow. Subtle, but wrong. I leaned closer to the screen. The shadow stretched, then pulled away from the wall. Like it wasn't attached to anything. It moved slowly toward the couch. Toward me. On the screen, I was still asleep. Didn't react. Didn't wake up. The thing got closer. Its shape unclear. Too dark to make out details. But it was there. Standing over me. Watching. I looked away from the TV. Back at my real hallway. Empty. Nothing there. I looked back at the screen. The thing was closer now. Leaning down. Right over my face. The timestamp kept going. 001302. 001303. Then, on the screen, my sleeping self smiled. Wide. Too wide. My eyes opened. But I was still sitting upright in real life. Watching. Frozen. On the TV, the version of me on the couch sat up slowly. Turned its head. Looked directly into the camera. Then, it spoke. My voice. Clear. You shouldn't have resumed. The screen went black. The TV returned to the home menu. Like nothing happened. I didn't go back to sleep. I stayed awake until morning. I checked the recently watched list. Nothing there. No title. No history. But there is one thing I can't explain. The timestamp. 001243. That's exactly how long I had been asleep. Before I woke up. I've got one of those showers where you set the exact temperature. There's a little screen that shows the degrees as the water heats up. Last night, I turned it on before getting. The screen lit up. 72 degrees right, arrow 85 degrees right, arrow 96 degrees. Normal. I stepped away to grab a towel. When I came back, the numbers had stopped. Not on a temperature. On a time. 2:31. I frowned. That's not right, I said. I tapped the panel. It didn't respond. The water kept running. The number stayed the same. 2:31. Then it changed. 2:32. My stomach tightened. It was keeping time. Not temperature. I reached in to turn the water off. The screen flickered. Then updated. Do not enter. I pulled my hand back. What? I said. The message stayed there. Water still running. Steam starting to fill the bathroom. I need to shower, I muttered. I reached for the handle again. The display changed. Wait. I hesitated. I don't know why, but I listened. I stepped back. Watched the steam build. The mirror fogged. The room got warmer. The display switched back to time. 2:33. Then the lights flickered. Just once. The water pressure dropped slightly. And I heard something. From inside the shower. Under the water. A second stream. Not from the shower head. Lower. Like something else was moving. I leaned closer. Trying to see through the curtain. Steam made it hard. Shapes shifting. Blurring. Then, a hand. Pressed against the inside of the curtain. At chest height. Palm flat. Fingers splayed. Perfectly still. I stumbled back. Nope, I said. The display updated again. Stay out. The hand slowly dragged downward, leaving a clear streak through the condensation, like it was making space to see out. Then another hand appeared. Higher this time. Pressing harder. The curtain bowed outward slightly, like something was leaning against it from the inside. The water kept running. Constant. Uninterrupted. I grabbed the door handle to leave the bathroom. The display changed again. Almost done. I froze. The hand stopped moving. Everything went still. Then, the water shut off. Instantly. No drip. No delay. Silence. The curtain slowly fell back into place. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. The display flickered one last time. Then returned to normal. 98 degrees. Like nothing happened. I waited a long time before doing anything. Eventually, I stepped forward. Slowly, carefully, reached out and pulled the curtain back. The shower was empty. No one inside. No footprints. Nothing. But the drain was clogged, full of water, and floating at the surface was a single strand of hair. Not mine. Way too long. And when I touched it, it moved. Against the current. I was driving home late, maybe around 1:30 a.m., empty roads, no traffic. Completely normal. Then my dashboard flickered. For a split second, the screen switched from navigation to my backup camera. Then back. I frowned. That shouldn't happen unless I'm in reverse. A few seconds later, it did it again. This time it stayed on longer. The rear camera filled the screen. Dark road behind me. Empty. Then it switched back. Okay, I muttered. Probably a glitch. Then it happened a third time. But this time, something was there. Far back. Centered in the camera view. Too far to make out clearly. Just a shape. Standing in the road. I checked my mirrors. Nothing behind me. No headlights. No cars. I looked back at the screen. It had already switched to navigation. My grip tightened on the wheel. A few seconds passed. Then, the backup camera turned on again. The shape was closer. Still centered. Still directly behind my car. I checked the mirrors again. Still nothing. Empty road. No reflection of anything. But the camera, it showed it clearly now. Tall, too thin, moving, walking forward, toward me. I pressed the gas a little harder. The car accelerated. The screen switched back. Then again. Camera. Closer. Way closer. It shouldn't be able to keep up. I was going 40. Then 50. The road behind me empty. But the camera, it showed the thing gaining. Not running. Just walking. And still getting closer. The screen flickered. Stayed on the camera this time. Wouldn't switch back. I hit the display button. Nothing. The camera feed filled the screen. The thing was right behind my car now. So close I could see details. Its arms hung too low. Head tilted slightly. Face. Wrong. Like it was trying to be a face. but hadn't gotten it right. It raised one arm slowly, reached forward, toward the camera, toward me. I slammed on the brakes. The car screeched to a stop. I threw it in park, jumped out, turned around. The road behind me. Empty, completely empty. No one there. No movement. Nothing. I stood there breathing hard, heart pounding. Then I heard it. From inside the car. A soft click. I turned back. The screen was still on, still showing the backup camera. But now, the view wasn't the road. It was me, standing behind the car, exactly where I was. From the camera's perspective, I took a step back. On the screen, I didn't move. The version of me in the camera stood still. Then, it smiled and started walking toward the car. Without me, we just switched to key fob access for everything: front door, gym, even the elevators. There's an app that logs every time you use it. Yesterday, I checked it out of curiosity. There were entries from that morning. Normal. Then I scrolled down. There were entries from last night. 203 a.m. front door access. 204 a.m. elevator called. 205 a.m. floor 5 selected. I live on the 5th floor. I wasn't awake at 2 a.m. I definitely didn't leave my apartment. I checked the next line. 206 a.m. unit door unlocked. My chest tightened. That's my door. I stared at it for a long time, trying to convince myself it was a glitch. Then I noticed something else. There were more entries. From after that, 207 a.m. unit door locked. 208 a.m. elevator called. 209 a.m. front door exit. So according to the log, something used my fob to come in. Went to my apartment. Then left. I checked my fob. Still on my keychain. Exactly where it always is. I told myself maybe the timestamps were off. Maybe it logged things late. So last night, I stayed up. Waited. At 2:02 a.m. I opened the app. Nothing new. 2:03. A new entry appeared. Front door access. My heart started pounding. I was sitting on my couch. My fob was in my hand. Another entry. Elevator called. I walked to my door slowly. Pressed my ear against it. Silence. The app updated again. Floor 5 selected. I stepped back. The hallway outside was quiet. Then, I heard it. The elevator. Ding. Doors opening. A few seconds passed. Then footsteps. In the hallway. Slow. Getting closer. I looked at the app. 206 a.m. unit door unlocked. My door handle moved. Just slightly. I hadn't unlocked it. I hadn't touched it. The deadbolt turned. By itself. I backed away. Heart racing. The door opened. A crack. Dark hallway beyond. No one visible. Then, the app updated. 207 a.m. unit door locked. The door slammed shut. Locked. Hard. I stood there frozen, trying to process what just happened. Then, a new entry appeared. Not one I'd seen before. 207 a.m. unit occupied. My throat went dry. Occupied by who? I whispered. The app responded. A new line. Primary resident confirmed. Then another. Secondary resident granted access. I ran to the door. Checked the lock. Still engaged. I turned slowly. Looked around my apartment. Everything looked normal. Quiet. Still. Then, from behind me, a soft beep. My fob. In my hand. The little light blinking. Like it had just been used. I have one of those smart thermostats with a digital display. Normally, it just shows the temperature, humidity, that kind of thing. Last night, I woke up freezing. I looked at the thermostat from bed. Instead of a temperature, it said 2. I frowned. I live alone. I sat up and checked my phone, no alerts, nothing weird. I got out of bed and walked over to it. The screen still said 2. I tapped it. It switched back to temperature for a second. 68 degrees. Then flickered. Back to 2. I felt my stomach tighten. No, I said quietly. The screen updated. 2 right arrow 1. I froze. What? I whispered. The number stayed at 1. For a few seconds, I felt relief. Maybe it was just a glitch. Maybe it corrected itself. Then, from somewhere in the house, a door closed. Soft, careful. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. The thermostat flickered again. 1 right arrow 2. My chest tightened. That meant, whatever had left, was back inside. I backed away slowly. Eyes still on the screen. Where are you? I whispered. The thermostat responded immediately. The screen split. Half temperature, half text. Guess. I turned slowly. Scanning the room. Nothing. Everything still. Then, the number changed again. 2 right arrow 3. My heart dropped into my stomach. That's not possible, I said. I checked the doors earlier. Everything locked. Windows closed. No way anything else got in. The thermostat flickered. New message. You're not counting right. I felt a cold wave wash over me. I'm alone, I said. Silence. Then, from right behind me, a voice, soft, close to my ear. Now you're not. Asterisk. I use the Notes app on my phone for everything: grocery lists, reminders, random thoughts. Nothing important. Last night I opened it and saw a new note. Untitled. Just one line. Don't close this. I assumed I must have typed it and forgotten. I tapped into it. The cursor was already blinking at the end of the sentence. Then, it moved. On its own. A new line appeared. You're reading this right now. I froze. That's not possible. I hadn't typed anything. Very funny, I muttered, thinking maybe it was some weird sync bug with another device. Then the text updated again. Letter by letter. No, it isn't. My throat went dry. Who is this? I typed. The cursor blinked for a second. Then started moving again. You? I shook my head. No, I typed. This isn't me. The response came faster this time. It will be. I felt this pressure in my chest. What does that mean? I typed. The cursor paused. Then, scroll up. I frowned. There was nothing above the first line. Just blank space. I scrolled anyway. The screen jumped. More text loaded. Lines and lines I hadn't seen before. All time-stamped from later. From the future. I skimmed the first one. 2:14, you hear something in the hallway. I stopped. Looked at the time. 2:13. My chest tightened. I didn't want to read more. But I did. 2:14, you hear it again. You think it's the neighbors. Right then, a sound. From the hallway. A soft creak. I froze. My phone buzzed. The note updated. 2:14, you're starting to understand. My hands started shaking. This isn't real, I typed. The response came instantly. Keep reading. I scrolled further. 2:15, you check the door. No, I said out loud. I'm not doing that. The cursor moved. You already are. Without thinking, I had stood up. Halfway to the door. I stopped. Backed up. No, I said again. I'm not following this. The text changed. Fast. More lines appearing. Rewriting themselves. 2:15, you don't check the door. 2:15, it comes in anyway. My stomach dropped. I locked the door. Check the deadbolt. Check the chain. Everything's secure. See? I said, almost desperate. It's locked. The note updated. Locks don't matter. The lights flickered. Just once. My phone vibrated. New line. 2:16, it's behind you. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I stared at the screen. Breathing shallow. The cursor blinked. Then, 2:16, you're about to turn around. No, I whispered. 2:16, you can't help it. My body tensed. Every instinct screaming not to move. The cursor blinked again. Then, 2:16, thank you for reading this far. My chest tightened. What? I typed. The reply came slowly. Like it was thinking. That's how it finds you. I dropped my phone. I don't want to read the rest. I don't want to know what happens next. But the screen is still on. And from where it landed, I can see the note updating. Adding new lines. One by one. About things I haven't done yet. And the worst part, every time I glance at it, it's always right. They added cameras on every floor last week. There's a monitor in the lobby that cycles through live feeds. Last night I couldn't sleep, so I went down around 2 a.m. to grab something from my car. Lobby was empty. The monitor was flipping through floors 1, 2, 3. Then it hit my floor. I stopped, because I saw my door. And then, it opened. On the screen, I watched myself step out into the hallway. Same clothes I was wearing. Same everything. I was holding my phone, looking down at it, walking casually toward the elevator. I looked down at my hands. I was holding my phone, standing in the lobby. My chest tightened. That's not live, I said out loud. It's delayed. But the little timestamp in the corner said, live. I stepped closer to the screen. On it, me reached the elevator. Pressed the button. Waited. Then slowly turned. Looked directly into the camera. Smiled. I wasn't smiling. I checked my reflection in the glass. My face was completely neutral. Back on the screen. The elevator doors opened. My double stepped inside. Right before the doors closed, it raised its hand and waved at me, standing in the lobby. The feed switched to another floor. Like nothing happened. I stood there for a long time, trying to think of a logical explanation. There wasn't one, so I went back upstairs. Took the stairs. Didn't want to use the elevator. When I got to my floor, I slowed down near the corner. My apartment door was in view. Closed. Normal. I walked up to it. Put my hand on the handle. Stopped, because I heard something. From inside. Footstep. Soft. Familiar. Matching my pace from earlier. Then, the lock clicked. From the inside. The door opened. Just a crack. Darkness inside. Then my voice. Calm. Casual. Hey, you just missed me. I use my phone alarm like everyone else. One main alarm, a couple backups just in case. Yesterday, I noticed a new setting I didn't add. Backup alarm auto. I figured it was part of an update. Last night, I set my normal alarm for 7:00 a.m. Went to sleep. At 7:00, it went off. I woke up, turned it off, got out of bed. Normal. Then at 7:03, my phone buzzed again. A different tone. Lower. Slower. I looked at the screen. Backup alarm triggered. I frowned. I'm already awake, I said. I hit dismiss. It didn't go away. The screen changed. Confirm. 2 buttons. Awake/still sleeping. I rolled my eyes and tapped awake. The phone froze for a second. Then, verifying, I set it down on my dresser and went to the bathroom. Brushed my teeth, splashed water on my face. When I came back, the alarm was still going. Same low tone. Same message. Verifying. That's annoying, I muttered. I picked it up again. The screen updated. Confirmation failed. My stomach tightened. What? I tapped awake again. Harder this time. The phone vibrated. Long. Then, subject unresponsive. I felt a weird chill. I'm literally holding you, I said. The screen flickered. Then switched. Front camera turned on. I saw myself, standing there, looking confused. The app overlaid a box around my face. Scanning. Then, a second box appeared. Behind me. Empty space. My chest tightened. I turned around. Nothing there. I looked back at the screen. The second box was still there, locked onto something just over my shoulder. The app updated. Primary subject located. Then, secondary subject active. I backed away. No, I said. There is no second. The phone vibrated sharply, cutting me off. Primary subject remains asleep. My throat went dry. What? The camera view zoomed slightly. The second box moved closer. Closer to the first, like it was leaning in. The screen updated one last time. Waking process interrupted. Then the alarm stopped. The screen went black. Everything normal again. No backup alarm. No setting. Nothing. I stood there for a long time. Then I checked something I wish I hadn't. My bed, the blankets, were still shaped like someone lying in them. And the pillow had a head-shaped dent. I walked closer, slowly, and that's when I saw it. A phone, on the nightstand. My phone, screen dark, exactly where I left it before going to sleep. Which means the one in my hand isn't mine.